The biggest financial scam was convincing ordinary people that looking wealthy is the same as becoming wealthy. Because while millions of people chase luxury lifestyles, wealthy investors quietly accumulate productive assets behind the scenes, especially land. And once you understand this distinction, you start seeing how entire financial behavior of society has been shaped around illusion, not ownership. Most people are not broke because they don't earn enough. They are broke because they are trained to convert income into appearance. Every raise becomes a lifestyle upgrade. Every bonus becomes a liability upgrade. Every success becomes a consumption decision. And over time, income stops being a path to freedom and becomes fuel for a more expensive life. This is the hidden design of modern consumer culture. It doesn't stop people from earning. It redirects how earning is used. Look at how success is shown today. A luxury car is treated as proof of achievement. A big house is treated as financial success. Designer brands are treated as upward mobility. But none of these things measure net worth. They measure spending behavior. And spending behavior is not wealth. It is flow of money outward, not ownership, not accumulation, not control. Now contrast this with how wealth quietly builds in the background. Wealthy investors focus on something most people ignore: assets that hold value over time. Or better, assets that increase in value while producing additional returns. This is where productive land becomes powerful, because land does not behave like consumer goods. It behaves like a long-term storage of value tied to future growth, especially when located near expanding cities, infrastructure corridors, or commercial development zones. The financial system rewards this kind of ownership in ways most people never notice. While ordinary income gets taxed immediately, long-term capital appreciation is often treated differently. While salaries are capped by time, assets are not. While jobs require continuous effort, ownership can continue generating value without active labor. This is the structural divide most people never get taught. Now here is the uncomfortable truth. A large portion of modern middle-class financial stress comes from owning the wrong kind of assets. Cars that lose value every year, electronics that become outdated within months, loans that extend for years, subscriptions that quietly stack up. Each one feels small individually, but together they create a permanent financial drain. A system where money never accumulates long enough to grow. Meanwhile, productive assets behave in the opposite way. They may feel slow at the beginning, even irrelevant, but they are designed for time, not speed. A piece of land does not need upgrades. It does not become obsolete. It does not require constant replacement, and when economic expansion reaches it, its value can change dramatically without any change in the asset itself. That is the silent power of positioning. Most people never see this shift happening in real time. They only see outcomes: a new shopping center, a new highway, a new industrial zone. But they rarely see what existed before it. Empty land, undervalued space, ignored locations. That gap between ignored and developed is where long-term wealth is quietly created, not through effort alone, but through timing and ownership. Now consider how financial behavior is shaped from early life. People are taught to optimize income, not assets. They are taught to improve credit scores, not net worth direction. They are taught to increase monthly affordability, not long-term appreciation. So naturally, financial decisions become short-term focused, and short-term thinking is expensive in the long run, because it prioritizes comfort today over ownership tomorrow. This is why two people earning the same income can end up in completely different financial realities. One focuses on upgrading lifestyle with every increase in income. The other focuses on converting income into productive assets. Over time, the difference compounds quietly, not visibly. Not immediately, but consistently, until one person is financially constrained and the other has built flexibility, leverage, and optionality. And this is where the real system becomes clear. The economy does not reward effort alone. It rewards positioning. It rewards ownership timing. It rewards asset selection, and it rewards patience. Not everyone benefits equally from the same income level. Because income is only the input. What matters more is what happens after income arrives. Now look at inflation from this lens. Inflation is often described as rising prices, but its deeper effect is hidden. It reduces the value of cash over time and increases the importance of scarce assets. This is why holding money without investment is a losing strategy over long periods, because purchasing power silently erodes while asset prices adjust upward, especially real assets tied to land, infrastructure, and production. Here is where wealthy behavior becomes different. They do not try to time perfect moments. They focus on continuous accumulation of productive assets. They understand that long-term direction matters more than short-term price movement. So instead of chasing income expansion alone, they expand ownership based step by step, year by year, often in ways that look slow or even invisible at first. And that is why land plays such a consistent role in wealth building across generations. Because land represents control over physical space in a growing system. And growth is what creates value. Population growth, urban expansion, industrial expansion, transportation expansion. Every form of expansion eventually touches physical space. And physical space is finite. This is also where most people misunderstand risk. They think risk is losing money. But in long-term wealth building, a bigger risk is not participating in ownership at all. Because while money sitting idle feels safe, it is actually being eroded by time. And while consumption feels rewarding, it permanently removes future compounding potential. Now zoom out and look at the entire structure. On one side, income converted into liabilities, status-based consumption, short-term satisfaction, continuous financial pressure. On the other side, income converted into assets, patient ownership, long-term appreciation, increasing financial flexibility. Both sides may look similar in the beginning, but over 10, 20, 30 years, the gap becomes exponential, not linear. And that brings us back to the central idea. The biggest financial misconception is not about money itself, it is about identity. People believe they are becoming successful by looking successful. But real wealth is not visual, it is structural, it is built in silence, it is stored in ownership. And it grows based on time, not attention. This is why productive land remains such a powerful example, because it is one of the few assets that sits quietly for years, then suddenly becomes strategically important when development reaches it. No redesign, no marketing, no reinvention, just time and location interacting with economic growth. And this is where the final realization appears. Most financial struggles are not caused by lack of opportunity, they are caused by misaligned behavior. People are not taught to build systems of ownership. They are taught to build systems of consumption. And once that pattern becomes normal, it feels like progress. But in reality, it is financial leakage disguised as success, because in the end, wealth is not defined by what you can afford to buy today. It is defined by what you continue to own tomorrow. And while most people spend their lives upgrading how they look, a small group quietly upgrades what they own, and that difference decides everything.